Hello there. I wasn't planning to record today, so I'm not exactly camera ready, but then again, I never really am camera ready when I record stuff, because usually I record when the inspiration hits me. Um, and then these previous months, I think you must have realized something was up because I haven't been posting like I used to. Um, I used to post every week with my funny videos or anything to do with tips and tricks when it comes to aerial. Well, today I would like to talk to you about something called burnout because it happens to pretty much all of us. But the thing is, we don't really think about burnout when we think about the things that we enjoy doing. And aerial is supposed to be something that I always enjoyed. Turns out, you can get burned out from the thing you love to do the most. As tragic as that sounds, this is what happened to me. So, I can't really remember when it was exactly. I don't know if it was one day I suddenly realized, or maybe over a few days I just suddenly noticed in myself. It must have been sudden, I have no idea. But it dawned on me that I just didn't want to make videos about aerial. I didn't feel like training aerial. I didn't feel like exploring things on the apparatus that I used to love doing so much. Finding that combo that looks really interesting and you're like, damn, I just need to explore it and do something new with it because it looks really cool. There's lots of possibilities with it. I did not have that feeling or urge in these past few months, and I just wondered why. What's wrong with me? Why don't I feel like doing any of these things that brought me joy? And of course, the first thing that we think to do to ourselves is exactly wonder what's wrong with me, right? The first thing that we normally do is blame ourselves for not feeling a specific way that we want. And of course, that was where I was at. I just blamed myself for feeling a certain way. Not the most productive thing in the world, I know, because the more I felt this way, the more I criticized myself for feeling this way, the more counterproductive it was. Lo and behold, it's been a while. I still haven't really gotten back that feeling that I once had. Now, the question is it going to come back? Will that joy come back? I don't know. But the thing is, just like a lot of things in our life, there's always going to be ups and downs, right? You're never going to be 100% with anything in your life, whether it is an obligation, whether it is something that you just enjoy doing for yourself. So I realized that even with the things I enjoy doing, I'm gonna have these ups and downs. It's just like the relationship that we have with ourselves, a relationship that we have with other people. We also go through ups and downs. Everything has its ups and downs. So I realized that I was going through this right now with something that I used to. I mean, I can't lie to myself. I still really love it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here doing what I am doing now, right? Like running an aerial studio, teaching classes, sharing what I enjoy. If I didn't love it, I wouldn't be here in the first place, right? So I know I still love it. It's just we're in a tight spot right now. And I know earlier I said I shouldn't blame myself for feeling a specific way, but I do have myself to be the reason for why I am this way. You know what I mean? So I don't want to blame myself. But I have to say that all of this burnout and everything is self-inflicted. Now, it might be a little different for you. Like, it is, well, I am a studio owner, I am an instructor, I have a lot of roles. I'm also having to keep a hold of a social media account and all of these things, right? So I am more things than just one. Before, I was only an instructor, I was only a content creator. That was it. Well, actually, like, I'm also an aerialist. So I was three things. I could juggle those things. But then since then, I had to juggle even more and more and more. And probably that's where I got burnt out. And a lot of the times, people say, keep your hobbies, because once they become a job, it is very, very easy to feel that love get sucked out of it. You know what I mean? And it's not enjoyable anymore. But I am the way I am in a sense that if I'm passionate about something, I can't stop thinking about it. I have to pursue it. You know what I mean? So here I am. But nothing is always going to be perfect, right? Um, the fact is, I still love aerial, but it's also burnt me out. I have burnt myself out. So, what am I going to do about it? Normally they say, okay, this is happening right now. I need to do something about it, right? Well, the first thing I did about my burnout was absolutely nothing. And why, you ask? Because if I'm burnt out, I'm burnt out because I was doing all the things. You know what I mean? So instead, I decided, okay, you know what? I am just going to minimize everything that I do right now, do the things that I need to do, and everything else that I just don't have the energy for, I'm just not going to do it. And of course, that gave me a lot of anxiety because, this is my living. This is my whole career right here. So it's a lot of anxiety to give myself the fact that I run a studio, and if I don't do anything to work on it, my living is gonna suffer in a sense, right? Because I'm not pushing for promotion or anything, trying to get people through the door. That wasn't my top priority. But my mental health is an investment, in a way that if I spend time working through this burnout right now and improving my moods, improving how I feel about everything, eventually this good mood that I'm hopefully trying to get for myself is going to help me to be productive in the future. So I'm thinking about the future. I'm not thinking about right now. So this is what's been going on with me. I wonder if any of this has resonated with you at all. It could be in any aspect of your life. It could be with an aerial. But I have to say that, years before, being an aerial instructor was my dream. It was like the number one thing that I just absolutely had to do. I sacrificed a lot to be here, okay? That'll probably be another video, but I did sacrifice a lot just to be an instructor. Back then there wasn't a lot of studios, and I just tried so hard to get that life that I wanted. Happy to say that I did. But like right now, I have I have everything that I wanted, you know. But I realized that, dreams do, that cliche saying that dreams do come at a cost. So I'm learning that, and even though it's different to know it and feel it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I know it, but I'm not truly living it. I'm not truly feeling it. And I'm living that right now. Being an instructor is not easy. You could do a course. You could spend a few months doing classes. But in no way does that mean that it prepares you for the challenges that you get. And I'm not talking about like, oh, how do I teach this thing? What is the most effective way to help someone to reach their aerial goal? It's not those things. Those are not the challenging things as an instructor or a studio owner. It's all the mental health aspects, you know. No one tells you how much you're going to go through imposter syndrome. No one tells you how much you have to work your ass off to be well known as a good instructor, right? Because at the end of the day, if you don't market yourself, no one's going to know how good you are. So you have to be more than just an instructor. You have to be all the things, you know? And it's not like we have all the money to get ourselves a team to help invest in us and market us and everything, you know? That comes much later if you manage to get there. But for the most part, like a lot of us, you know, like me, we're just trying so hard to do what we can with the resources we have, with the energy we have, with the time we have, you know, like everything's pretty limited, you know. And we try, in today's world, we try so hard to be more than what we are, you know. And I think that's why we get so burnt out, because we are trying so hard to fulfill this expectation in ourselves, and we are thinking that these people expect that from us as well. So I stress myself out so much trying to reach a threshold, feeling like this is the bar that I have to reach in order to be good at what I do. But then I forget that I'm human. I do have limitations, just like our muscles. Muscles have limitations, but it takes time to make them stronger by doing the right things. So that's why I decided, okay, I'll take a break, just do what I have to do to get back on my feet mentally. But the thing is, I wasn't sure how to do that. But I always knew that videos were always something that I enjoyed doing. But recently, I just didn't feel that need to create a lot. Do you know what I mean? But then I realized it was because I was still thinking in the realm of aerial. Like, aerial is not the only thing that I am, you know? Like, everyone knows me for being like that funny, weird person, you know, in aerial. And I think there's a lot more of us now, like, you know, putting out those funny videos, and it's great. We need more aerial content out there for us. But then at the same time, you know, I realized for me to heal, I had to do things that weren't aerial, you know? So I've been just not doing a lot of aerial. Like, I've been doing gym now, you know? And I started aerial because I didn't like the gym back then in the beginning. And I'm trying to just work on myself and just working on my social life, because you know what? I've been a shut-in the past year. Running a business like this, I've isolated myself. I've just been working so hard on this thing that I just sacrificed everything else, you know, and I realized that, you know, my relationships were suffering, and the relationship with myself was suffering because this was all I was putting my focus into. It's just a whole work-life balance, isn't it? And I'm no good at that, but I'm learning. So again, it's amazing if any of this that I'm saying, you know, relates to you in some way, or you're just enjoying to me talk right now about where I've been. And I actually, honestly, I haven't really specifically said where I've been. It's just that I've not been here. You know, I've been here, but just not like in, you know, in online as much as I used to. I haven't even been checking my Instagram that much these days. And you know what? I've actually been feeling much better since I've stopped doing that, you know. Anyways, in a nutshell, I am working on this. I'm working on myself. And the reason why is that I want to give people the best part of myself, you know. But at the same time, I do want people to realize that there's a lot going back. Like, I'm not saying that no one knows that. Everyone knows that people have things going on behind them. It's the thing is, like, we don't talk about it. And the only way that we really relate to one another is when we talk about these things that we do hide. Because actually, a lot of us hide things that a lot of people probably go through the same, And it just feels a little less lonely about the fact that, like, I want to be good at aerial, I want to be a good instructor, I want to be all these good things, but I've been struggling just because I was just trying too hard, Like, I just wasn't enjoying life to its fullest because my priorities were just a little too crazy. So, again, in a nutshell, take care of yourself first before anything else. Because things change in a very positive way when it starts with you, and you're never alone. Whatever it is, whatever dream that you want to do will always be there when you're ready. And yeah, being an aerialist, instructor, performer, whatever it is that you are, it's not easy, and it comes at a cost. But I still wouldn't have it any other way. It just takes some time to navigate and get used to it. So never blame yourself. You're human. You will be able to come back from this, whatever it is. And I'm also telling myself this, for anyone out there. You are more than what you think you are. You're more than just an aerialist. You're more than just a performer. You're a great, amazing person that can do all of these hard things that you didn't even realize that you could do. But it's also okay to know when these things are hard and admit to yourself that you're struggling and you can't do it. But it doesn't mean you can't do it right now. Sometimes I think maybe I'll never be able to do these things. And that's also okay. It's really okay. The whole point of this is to figure out what kind of aerialist, what kind of coach, whatever it is. It's not aerial, just what kind of person you want to be in this. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to do it the same way as other people do. You do it in your way that suits you, that makes you happy. You don't have to do it like everybody else. On social media, I know everyone seems like they're leading a good life, but no, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't have to do it like them. You got this, guys.